Every Sunday, like clockwork, 72-year-old Margaret LeBlanc would take a soft cloth to her mama's antique mirror. There, in their old Louisiana cottage, surrounded by the scent of cypress and sweet tea, she'd polish the silvered glass until it shone. For years, it had only ever shown her own reflection, a map of wrinkles and memories. But one crisp December morning, something changed. As the mist cleared from the glass, it didn't show her standing there in her worn flannel robe. It showed tomorrow. Margaret, pale and still, in a sterile hospital bed. The room was empty. Her daughter, her estranged daughter, was nowhere to be seen. Margaret's hand froze mid-swipe, her breath catching in her throat. 12 years, 12 long, silent years had passed since the fight that shattered their family. A foolish argument over something neither could likely remember, but pride had built a wall between them, brick by stubborn brick. All this time, Margaret had waited for a call, a letter, anything. Now, this ghostly vision in the mirror, this premonition, was the only sign she'd received. It was a warning she couldn't ignore. Her heart hammered against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat of fear and regret. With trembling fingers, she picked up her old rotary phone. The number was etched not just on the dial, but deep within her soul. She'd practiced dialing it in her mind 1,000 times, but her fingers always stopped short. Not today. She dialed, the clicks echoing the agonizingly slow turn of her hope, when a voice finally answered, a voice that was a woman's but still held the ghost of her little girl. Margaret's own voice broke. "Baby," she whispered, the word a prayer. "I saw it tomorrow, and you weren't there." A heavy silence hung on the line, thick with unspoken words and a decade of pain. Then, a choked sob from the other end. "Mama, I'm coming home." And she did. They talked all night, the words spilling out in a torrent, washing away the years of silence. They talked about everything and nothing, the lost time, the silly fight, the grandchildren Margaret had never met. They cried, they laughed, they forgave. It was a lifetime of conversation crammed into one beautiful, healing night. The next afternoon, just as the sun began its descent, Margaret collapsed, a massive heart attack. Her daughter, racing against time, burst through the emergency room door, just as the monitor flatlined into a single, piercing tone. But then, as her daughter grabbed her hand, a miracle, a beep, then another. When Margaret opened her eyes, the first thing she saw was her daughter, her face tear-streaked, but there, her baby was there. The following Sunday, back in the little cottage, Margaret stood before the antique mirror once more. She polished the glass, her daughter's hand resting gently on her shoulder. This time, the mirror didn't show the future, it showed the present. It showed the two of them, together, their reflections rippling with shared laughter in the warm Louisiana light. Some reflections warn us, not of an inevitable fate, but of a future that needs changing. They show us what we stand to lose, so that love can have a chance to rewrite tomorrow. Thanks for listening to Whispers of Aunt Lila. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe.